What are we discussing today?
We're continuing on with my most favorite topic of this channel.
Which is?
I'll tell you in a moment. But before I tell you, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You are a pretty good realtor, right?
I think I'm fairly competent in this field, yes.
Well, in your field, there is this process called appraisals, right?
Yes, why?
Well, you might not realize, but I'm very skilled in appraisals.
No, you're not. You're a doctor, not an appraiser.
I might not be an appraiser, but I'm very skilled at appraising.
Okay, where is this going?
Well, I just want to tell you, based on my appraisal, you are priceless.
Okay. Why are you using a pickup line on your wife?
Because I have to try it first to see if it works. Then I can use on someone else.
I dare you. What are we talking about today?
Let's talk about real estate 102.
Do you get to have the noodle just like when we did real estate 101?
Yep.
Darn it.
Howdy folks, welcome to our channel. I am Pushy.
I'm Mushy.
And we're the Pushy Mushy.
Serious.
We will do our best to combine facts with humor. But if we do make mistakes, please let us know and we will do our best to correct. Please like or dislike, hopefully not dislike, subscribe, comment, share, and press that bell icon.
Great.
So last episode, we concluded that most of the realtors out there are good realtors. And even though one can sell or buy a real estate property on his or her own, using a professional real estate agent generally gives the person an economic advantage. Does that sound about right?
Yep, research has shown that agent assist home sales on average increase home sale value by about 35% compared to for sale by owner.
Building on this foundation, we're going to start by asking how to find a good realtor. And just for the record, Mushy is obviously a realtor, but we're not here to promote her. We're happy for you as long as you find the right fit for you and your family.
This is a difficult question because everyone is different. However, one can generally start by asking around, meaning rely on words of mouth or referrals.
So, say I want to buy a house and I don't want to use you as my realtor. Of course I want to use you as my realtor, but say I ask you to refer me to someone else. I will never do that. But for the purpose of demonstrating how to go about this process, I ask you for a referral.
Okay, then I will refer you to the worst realtor on earth. Ow!
That is the most unprofessional thing I have ever heard from your mouth.
Sorry, got a little emotionally attached. Okay, so I will refer you to a realtor whom I believe is likely the most compatible with you. And all jokes aside, I definitely have referred multiple clients to some of my colleagues around the country due to professional preferences, location, goals, and values.
And what if I get connected with your colleagues and find out we're not as compatible as I had hoped for?
Well, great question. In this case, you can ask me again for another referral or someone else for a suggestion or guidance. We realtors generally have seen plenty in this field and there's rarely any hard feelings from our end.
That's good to know. So it's not like once you get connected with the realtor, you are locked in.
Nope, but generally you want to stick with one person. Sounds a little bit like marriage. Ow!
Such a good analogy. I like it. Say I don't know any realtor and none of my friends knows any. Is there like a website I can go to?
Well, you can try Nextdoor or a local Facebook group and ask for a recommendation from the group. There are other resources out there, but I think these two places are a good starting point.
So obviously, when everything is working out well, the client-realtor relationship continues. But when should a client consider switching a realtor?
When nothing is happening.
That sounds like our relationship right now. I mean, I feel like finding the right real estate agent is like searching for the right relationship. And when nothing is happening in a relationship, which is like my current relationship with Mushy, because, okay, things obviously happen in our relationship. As y'all can see, I get hit. But let's get back to the real business. Please explain on what you mean by one should consider switching a real estate agent when nothing is happening.
Well, for normal people, real estate means either buying or selling property. When you sign a contract with the realtor either to buy or sell, but you don't see any actions, that could be a sign of incompatibility between you and your realtor. This doesn't mean that you will be buying or selling right away. But for example, say if you were to buy a house and you just don't get to see any of the houses that you want to see, and your realtor is not making any appointments for you, or not enough appointments for you, or say if you were to sell, but you don't get to see any showings requests for like weeks.
But isn't nothing happening somewhat relative? Meaning, what I view as nothing happening might not be your perception.
Absolutely. So this is why communication is the key. When you're not happy with your progress that your realtor and you are making, I would suggest you talk directly to your realtor. Most realtors are good at accommodating as well as adapting. But if somehow you just cannot get your message across, this is a bad sign.
What are some other warning signs of a suboptimal realtor?
Unfamiliarity with the local market, no show or being late to an appointment, and being too pushy with his or her agenda. Ow!
Pushy is not bad.
Yes, pushy is very bad.
This comes up a lot. But what sort of questions can a client not ask his or her realtor?
Anyone can ask anything, but generally, realtors don't provide answers on demographics of a neighborhood, such as racial profile, crime rate, or information that's perceived as steering a client away from a neighborhood.
Can a client date his or her realtor?
Where is this going?
I'm trying to see if I can take you out on a date sometimes in the future when I try to buy a house.
We are married. You can take me out on a date anytime.
We are married? Of course we're married. Of course. Alright, let's do a final question. What do you consider to be a good client to realtor relationship?
The relationship should be engaging. The client should feel free to ask any question she or he may have. The realtor can decide whether the question is appropriate or not, and either answer professionally or explain why she cannot answer a particular question. Both the client and the realtor should be active listeners, meaning the client taking his or her realtor's advice and coming up with his or her own opinion. On the other hand, the realtor should do his or her best to resolve the client's problems or concerns. And the realtor should take all the client's preferences into account when searching for potential perfect home for the client. The realtor should not be a simple messenger between his or her client and the other party. For example, if Pushy were selling his house and I were sadly his realtor, when the potential buyer has a question for him, I should not simply relay the message, but also offer my recommendation for him and guidance in order to serve him the best. Above all, a good realtor should do what any reasonable individual would do in order to protect his or client's best interest.
We're the Pushy Mushy. Thanks for watching.